Well, 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 well. Wow! Valve is coming for every single handheld out there, which the only handheld out there that's relevant is literally Nintendo Switch. But listen, Valve is coming for everybody's necks with this thing because we know how popular a handheld. Listen, before I even get into it, let me tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this new handheld PC thingamajigga that was announced by Valve very recently. It's called the Steam Deck. You put a mouse, you put a PC, you put a monitor into one thing, and what do you get? You get Valve's Steam Deck. Now this thing is powered by Steam. You can play a bunch of freaking games on it. All of the ones on Steam. All of the games on Steam. Dude, this thing is gonna be freaking amazing. I hope I get my reservations today. I probably won't because I never really get that lucky. Although I did kind of get lucky with the PS5 and the Xbox. And okay, so maybe I will get lucky. But before I get into this more, let me read to you, a little bit about the specs on this thing. So let's go ahead and look at these specs. It's powered by an AMD APU with a quad-core 8-thread Zen 2 CPU and AMD RDNA 2 GPU with 8 complete units alongside 16 gigabytes of RAM. All right. So we go down a little bit, and there are 3 models available. It's just the 64 gigs, 256 gigabyte, and a 512 gigabyte. Now, the only thing different about these models is that as you go up, the loading gets faster. Loading times, accelerate. But who really cares? I'm going to go for the cheapest one because I'm a cheapskate. But let's go ahead and talk about what this is going to do for Nintendo because wow, we just got the announcement from Nintendo recently that their new Switch is the only thing that's different about it is a port and the OLED screen and it being a little bit bigger. That's literally it. Everybody wanted a Switch Pro and we wanted the specs to get boosted so the games could run at a little bit higher frame rate and maybe some better resolution at least. So, what does Valve do? They swoop from the sky and they come in and say, hey, you know what? I'll do it myself, just like Thanos. They snap their fingers and here they are. Coming in December of this year, they are doing it themselves. And I am actually super, super duper excited for this one because I have not been that, huge on handhelds, of course, but I really do enjoy the Switch. But the reason why I enjoy the Switch is because of all the Nintendo games on there. But the reason I'm excited for this is think of all the games you can play now when you go on vacation or you're chilling in your bed or whatever. You can literally sit there and play something that's on PC. I mean, that is ridiculous. And we're talking about games that run at high quality. You turn it to medium, they'll run at a high like 60 frames per second. The resolution is in 720p, but this is to help the performance of the game. I really don't think this is going to be bad at all. I don't know, man. I'm super excited. When you take a look at this thing, it does look a little awkward. The analog sticks at the top, and then they have like the touchpad on both sides. It looks a little awkward, but I think you'll end up getting used to it once you get your hands on one. I'm sure, just like every console or handheld. But I really do love how they just swooped down and kicked Nintendo right in the face and said, you know what, we're going to do it ourselves. And guess what? We have a vast majority of games that you can play, a much wider majority of games that you can play. You're just going to have to give up your Nintendo games, which I love Nintendo games as well. But to be honest, I can give them up to play some brand new games on a handheld and take it anywhere. That's dope as shit. So really this raises the question, what is Nintendo going to do? Are they eventually going to put out a Switch Pro? I believe they are. Is it going to be able to compete with the Steam Deck? Obviously, it's freaking Nintendo. I'm not really worried about whether they can compete or not because guess what? Even with this OLED model that's not more powerful at all or nowhere near on par with the Steam Deck, it's still going to sell very well and outsell the Steam Deck. I mean, that's just how it goes. It's Nintendo. Personally, like I said before, I'd rather have the Steam Deck. I want something a little bit more powerful to carry around in my hands and take wherever and have that huge, category games that I can play. I think I'm excited for this one. But of course, like always, I always want to know what you all think. Would you rather have the Switch and just stick to your Animal Crossings? Or would you rather have this Steam Deck with this vast majority of games and the power to back it up? I think this thing is going to be super duper cool. I hope it does live up to the hype. I really do. Nintendo, go screw yourself. Valve, thanks Valve. Alright, I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Westlinks is out, baby.